So now we're going to learn how to count impressions, meaning we're going to add a method to see how many times a user has seen a specific lesson and how many times a specific lesson has been seen. Now for this, we have our user lessons table in which we already check if a user has seen a specific lesson. And now we're going to add an additional field that will name impressions with the data type integer. And basically, whenever a user opens a lesson, this impressions counter is going to be increased by 1. So we will see which lessons have been opened the biggest quantity of times. So let's do it. We are going to run a new migration, add impressions to user lessons. With impressions integer. Now let's look at our migration. Here it is, and now we're going to add default 0, now false. Okay, now we're running the migration. Okay, so now whenever a user opens the lesson, we should increase this counter. So for this, we're going to the lessons controller. And here we have our show method. So at the moment we have current user.view lesson. Let's go to lesson.rb and see our view lesson method. So we're checking if there are any user lessons with this current lesson and current user. And now we will see this actual view lesson in the user model. So we're going to user.rb. And here we have the method to view a lesson. So if there is no such lesson, we create a user lesson. And otherwise, we're going to add one more view to the lesson. So we're going to find the user lesson and increment the impressions count by 1. So let's do it like this. User lesson, we're going to declare it here, and we're going to find it. So first of all, we find the user lessons, and here we check if user lesson any. So if there are no user lessons, we create a user lesson. Otherwise, we take the user lesson dot first, and we're going to increment the field. So we're going to take the increment method, and we're going to increment impressions count. Now, let's see how it works. Let's run the server, and we're going to open one of the lessons. Okay, let's go to learn the purchased courses. We take a course that has a few lessons, and we open one of the lessons. Now we should have incremented this view count by 1. So let's click it a few times, and let's add a method to see how many impressions there have been. So we will take the current lesson, and we're going to check for the user lessons, where current user is the user. We're going to take the first. So now run number of arguments. So lesson user lessons dot where. Okay, we can find this user lesson, and we're going to find the impressions. So we see 10, 11, 12 impressions. We've seen that this user has seen this lesson 12 times. Let's open another lesson. The count is 1, 2, 3, So this way, each time we refresh the page, there is one impression added. And that's about it. Now we are not going to make this visible to anybody, but it will be good for analytics to see which lessons have been viewed the biggest quantity of times. So let's clean up. Yes, that's about it for this lesson. We learned how to use the increment method. So each time we do something, the number of a certain field can be increased by 1. Thank you.